everyone, and welcome back to today's channel video. Today I'm cleaning my classroom and organizing and using these totes. Those of you who've been with me for a while know that I've recently started adding these to my crafting room to make things more accessible. And today I'm noticing on it that there's a break in it, which I didn't notice when I got it at the store. I must have dropped it in the floor when I got it home, because surely I would have noticed something like that in the store. But anyway, I could still probably use it. I'm just checking it to see how far back the crack goes in it. Well, I'm not going to take the time to pack it up in the car and take the receipt and take it back to the store. I'll just go ahead and use it and not put anything really heavy in those particular drawers. I think it'll be okay. But today I'm going to be working on this corner in the back here, and I'm really excited about it because this is the area where I have all my mama's quilts that I inherited. And right now they're just folded up and stacked on top of them two totes that are back there. Emptying out the totes. Here I'm showing you the break where the crack, where I must have dropped it when I got it home and didn't notice it. But I will be putting those totes, the things in the totes that are on the floor back there, into this little cabinet style with drawers so that they'll be easier to get into. When they're stacked in the totes like that, one tote stacked on top of the other, it makes it very difficult to get anything out if there's something in there you need. Plus, you don't really know what's in it until you get it out. But there's two totes back here, and I'm going to be working on getting those. First, I have to take all of this stuff out and the quilts on top and stack them all to the side and move everything out and then decide which direction I want my tote to be in. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. Just putting everything to the side. Some of the stuff in this craft room is not sewing things. It's storage, like that bookcase I'm standing in front of. That has nothing to do with sewing. That is movies I have on that bookcase. And then I also have my makeup little vanity in here. These are quilting supplies that I inherited from my mom. And that's what I'm going to be trying to work into this corner to make it more, to look better and make it more accessible. I don't remember exactly how many quilt tops I inherited from my mom, and my intention was to put the backs on them and put them together because I've already got two of them sold. If I can get them put together, my next door neighbor told me that he would be interested in buying some because as many quilts as there are, I don't have any use for that many quilts. I mean, I know that my mama made them with her own hands, and they're all hand-stitched. They're not machine quilted. She picked out the fabric and the patterns, and she pieced them together. But good grief, I have no use for that many quilts in my life. Even when I get them all put together, I have no place to store them, and I have no use for them on my beds. I might pick out 3 of my favorite patterns after I get them finished to keep for myself, and then the rest of them I'm going to be selling. So that's what I'm taking out of the corner right now. And then this is some of the poster board that I used in the earlier moments when I was doing my YouTube channel for, what do you call them, thumbnails and things. I would write on here what the channel was about and set the tripod up in front of it and film. So I want to keep those. So I'm storing them in this basket because I want to keep those. Now I'm just making room up here for when I bring these totes out because they're pretty heavy. I want to make sure I'm able to get them out where I can put them away and make sure I can get this tote put in here. And there's, like I said, there's a lot of stuff in here that doesn't have anything to do with quilting. Now this stack of papers here does. I use it to make my quilting patterns, sewing patterns, like for clothing and stuff. I use that. That's actually copy paper that I found at a yard sale. And then this container here is an old Tupperware container, but it also has a quilt inside of it that I'm working on. A quilt in there that I'm working on that I have been working on for several years and just never finished. And then this is bags of quilting scraps that I'm saving because I make the kind of quilts that my grandmother made, which are called string quilts. And that's what's in there is just pieces of fabric. When you make the string quilts, you don't waste any part of it. Once you cut out dresses and toys and other things out of fabric, you save all the remnants and use them to make a quilt. My grandmother growed up during the Depression, and that's how she survived, was by using up every single little thing that she had left over in her house. So here are the totes. That's the first tote that I'm going to be going through and emptying out, seeing what's in there. I don't know if there's going to be anything in there that I can throw away or sell or donate, but I will find out. And then here's the second one. Now I'm noticing back here that I'm going to have to sweep because the mice have gotten in here and there's mice droppings all over the floor. So I'm going to have to be cleaning that up. But right now I'm concentrating on this cable cord. This is from the people that lived here before used to have a TV set back in this corner. And usually when I find these cables, because I found like 2 of them in the living room and 1 of them in the back bedroom, and then this one, I usually just poke them down through the hole in the floor and they drop down into the basement. And then I go down in the basement and I take zip ties and tie them up. But this one here, for some reason, it won't go down into the floor. So I'm having to mount it up behind the curtain rod. All right, now I'm going to be rolling the canister in there, the dresser drawer. But first, I'm going to get a broom and a dustpan so that I can sweep the area out because there's mouse droppings back there. I have mice in my house in the wintertime, and them little jokers get into everything. I have put mouse poison out probably 3 different times since I've lived here. They usually only get the worst in the wintertime. Any other time they're here, I know they are, but I don't hear them or notice them as much as the winter. And I guess because in the wintertime they're coming in to get food and to get warm. So I went and got my broom and my dustpan, and I'm going to sweep this out, pick up all the mouse droppings, and then I'll be ready to stick my crate back in there and figure out what I want to keep. There's going to be a lot of stuff in there, I'm sure, that I haven't seen in years. And that's one of the problems with storing in totes. You put the stuff in there because you want to keep it and use it, but then you never get into it, and it just sits in your house. And like I said, there's stuff in these totes that I know I haven't seen in years. Most of it's crafting items, and I may still use some of the crafting items, but I have a feeling that a lot of the crafting items are going to probably get donated. I'm not even going to try to sell them. I'm going to donate them. And now I'm just trying to decide which direction I want it to sit in. If I want it to be facing out like this, and it won't go all the way back against the wall because of that stupid cord coming up through the floor. So I think I'm probably going to end up turning it in the other direction and facing it out this way. Now, I've been buying these totes once a month because I can't afford to just go and buy a bunch of totes all at once. So next month there'll be another tote that will go on top of this one. And I'll be able to put some more stuff in it. So we're going to take the lid off this first tote and we're going to see what kind of goodies are in there. All right. What kind of goodies are in this tote? Okay, there's a bag right here that has some stuff in there. Oh, this is Hello Kitty fabric that I bought years ago to make aprons out of. I definitely want to keep that, but I'm going to take it out of the plastic bag and store it someplace else. Here I'm just holding the fabric up to kind of show you, that it's Hello Kitty fabric that I bought to use for not quilts, but for aprons. I may end up using it for a quilt because I have some more Hello Kitty fabrics that I just recently had found at Walmart. Walmart don't generally carry a lot of Hello Kitty fabric, but I've noticed that Hello Kitty goes through phases where it'll disappear for a while and then it'll come back after a few years. And right now it's starting to come back around, and they have Hello Kitty fabric at Walmart. So I may end up using that with the fabric that I got at Walmart. And then this is just a bunch of random stuff in here. I'm holding that up and I don't even remember what it was. I think it's zippers and thread and needles. And so those are going to go in one of my other tote drawers. I have one drawer that I have nothing but thread in, and I'll probably stick that in there. And the zippers I'll put in this tote here. That'll be the first thing that I put in the tote. And then this is some fabric that I'm going to stick in here. And a lot of this stuff is things I bought to make crafts with, and I don't even remember. This bag here contains zippers. And I think I probably inherited these from my grandmother, because anytime she took something apart to use the fabric, she also saved the buttons and the zippers to use. Like I said, she lived during the Depression, so she had made use of everything. So I'm sure those zippers came from my grandmother. And then this is a sewing instruction book for a sewing machine from Singer that has all the attachments and stuff. It's probably one of the sewing machines that I got from my grandma. I inherited 2 of my grandmother's sewing machines. So I'm going to keep that in case it does work with the sewing machine that I got. Here's some more zippers that I got from my grandmother. Going to put them in the drawer too. Later on, after everything is in the drawers, then I will go back and put the numbers on them and label them with what's inside. And I'm not sure what I'm looking at in here. Elastic. This bag contains all elastic that I've bought and that I've taken out of fabric, jeans and pants and stuff to reuse. So I'm going to keep that in here. Here's another sewing machine book that I will be putting in there. And here's another sewing machine book. I have no idea where those come from. They probably came from my grandmother. I'm sure over the years she's bought several sewing machines that she couldn't get repaired, and she just neglected to get rid of the books. All right, here is some paint brushes that I got. And this yellow paper here is called tracing paper that you make marks on your patterns with when you're sewing stuff. So I'm going to keep that. And let's see what's in this bag here. This looks like, I think this is stuff that I bought to make crafts from the Dollar Tree from a few years back, and now I can't even remember what the crafts were. There's a pair of socks. I think the socks I used when I made Christmas gnomes that I gave to the girls at the grocery store I worked at for Christmas. But there's pot holders in here and kitchen towels. And as far as I can remember, I think I bought those pot holders and kitchen towels to make that craft where you sew the pot holder to the top of the towel, and then you can attach it on your stove handle or your ice box. And there's a bunch of pipe cleaners that I'd be using in some craft. I'm not sure what. Like I said, I haven't seen a lot of this stuff in years. I may go through it later and take that stuff out. And if I don't make those pot holder kitchen towels, I will either donate or try to sell it online. There's a lot of it in these bags. Evidently, I had bought enough to make a pot holder kitchen towel thing for gifts for everybody in my family, probably. And then I got lazy and didn't get it done, didn't have enough time. I'm one of those people, I got to be in a mood to sew. If I'm not in the right frame of mind, I don't get anything done. And I probably bought the stuff so that I would have it here for when I got ready to sew and got in the mood. And then the mood just never did come to me, so they never got made. But they're still here and they're still usable. I don't need them in my kitchen because I've went through all my towels and stuff and got rid of a bunch of them. So I'm not going to drag any more of them in there. But let's see, I think I'm almost to the bottom of this tote. Now here's another bag that's got some more pot holders and kitchen towels in it. These are all brand new. They still have the tags on them, and they are from the Dollar Tree. And there's more socks. So yeah, that's probably what I'll do. I'll end up going through them, matching them up, figuring out what I was going to put what with, and seeing if I want to go ahead and continue making it, or if I just want to donate it. Chances are I'll probably donate it to the local thrift store. Somebody in the thrift store may come in and need a bunch of pot towels. I could probably advertise online for somebody that needed it and donate it that way too, instead of giving it to the thrift store. They make money off it. And it's not like the Goodwill where they claim the money they make, they use it to help put people to work. This thrift store, they just make the money for their own profit. So the best thing to do would be just to advertise online free kitchen towels and pot holders, and somebody would get it. Alrighty, I've emptied out one tote. That's one less tote in the room, taking up space. Now these totes that I'm emptying, I am going to advertise them online, but I'm waiting till I get all of the totes completely emptied out of this room and any other room that I'm emptying, because I want to advertise them all at the same time. I'm going to ask an individual price. This is just a bunch of sewing stuff. Tape measures, needles, pins, straight pins, markers, all kinds of stuff. Anyway, back to the totes. I'm going to ask an individual price for each tote, but then say if somebody comes and takes all of them, I'm going to discount it and knock some of the money off and give them a bargain price. That way, hopefully somebody will buy all of them and just get them all gone. I'd rather sell them all at once than just have somebody come up and take two and then another person come and take one, and then I still got totes there that I can't sell. Now this has just got a bunch of little crafty items that I have bought. There's thread there, there's buttons, there's googly eyes, straight pins, needles, stuff that I have keeping here. Eventually I'll go through this and put this in a different area, and I'll take that divided plate and take it out of there and do something else with it. Probably advertise for sale on Facebook. A lot of this stuff's going to get sold on Facebook. Now this is a bunch of threads. I remember I bought these at a yard sale a long time ago. I have a special drawer that I put all my threads in, so that's where that's going to go. And then this is just another little storage container I got at Walmart that has beads and crafting items, googly eyes, letters from the Scrabble game that I had a craft to glue the letters onto a photo frame. There's needles in here, little toys, all kinds of stuff. I will go through that later. I always say I'll go through that later, and then it never happens. I'm just sitting the stuff on top for right now because I haven't decided yet. Now here's one of my Hello Kitty containers and collectibles. I'll put that right over there. Let's see what else we got in here. Here is another Hello Kitty. This is a puzzle. Bought it at a yard sale. I need to put the puzzle together and glue it, and then I can hang it on the wall. And this is a container. It's a metal box that has, looks like it has bobbins in it. Extra needles and bobbins in it. I'll be going through that later and getting rid of that, because I have a special drawer that I put all my needles and bobbins in. I'm going to be labeling all that stuff, so when I need a bobbin, I know directly where to go to it. And let's see, what is that? Oh, this is some quilting pieces that I had already started, made from t-shirts that I sewed onto quilting fabric to put together a t-shirt quilt. So I definitely want to keep them because I know for a fact that the rest of those t-shirt quilts are down in the basement in one of those barrels that I'll be going through. And so I want to keep that. And this has got, oh, these right here are clothes that go on those little resin kitty cats that sit out in my front yard. When I ordered that online, it came with like 4 outfits that you could change for the seasons. Spring, Valentine's Day, Easter, Christmas. That's what those are. And then this bag is also some more. 4th of July. And they're like little dolls that stand up out in your yard. And you just dress them in these outfits for the season. Of course, with them buried in the totes, I haven't been changing them with the season. Now that I got them out, here's another 4th of July. Now that I got them out, I'll be able to change them with the seasons. I need to get in there and get the ones out for Christmas and Thanksgiving and put them out there. Another Hello Kitty decoration and part of my collection that I'm keeping. I'm almost to the bottom of this tote. Here's another Hello Kitty decoration that I'm keeping. This is a process that I dreaded and looked forward to at the same time. I wanted it to get done because I knew that it would make my crafting room look better, but I dreaded the fact that I was going to have to go through them totes and dig through that stuff, more pipe cleaners, decide what I wanted to keep, decide what I wanted to get rid of, and it's hard for me to make myself get rid of stuff. Now this is Hello Kitty items that a subscriber sent to me to make a bracelet with a long time ago. They're little Hello Kitty beads, and I have yet to put the bracelet together. I stored them in this little heart box, and I am going to keep them. Now that they're out, maybe I'll get that project taken care of. Who knows what kind of things I'll do. Here's another Hello Kitty collectible. It's a wand. I'm going to put it back here. I'll probably hang that on the wall later. What's down in the bottom of this tote? Come on, Dickie. Let's dig deep and get it out. And it looks like some pipe cleaners and elastic and netting that I want to save. I don't know what I was saving with that rope for. I cut that off with something, but I don't even know what I cut it off from. Now here's a flag. This is a garden flag. I used to have 4 of them for different seasons. That one's for Christmas. I had one for Easter and Valentine's Day and Halloween. I have no idea where those ended up. I think one of them blowed off the flag holder and flew away, and I never saw it again. So after that, I started taping the flag holder so they wouldn't blow away. And I just never did get that one out. I need to go out there and put it out since Christmas is coming. I'd like to use it. Alright, I'm almost to the end of this video. It looks like I've only got about 4 more minutes left to go through this stuff. So, let me see what I got. Take this stuff over here and put this tote here. That's the lid to this tote. And this is also quilting, quilt that I've started on. I think it's an Elvis Presley quilt. If it's not the Elvis Presley quilt, it's a Texas quilt. And believe it or not, I started the Elvis Presley quilt to give as a gift to a lady at work who loved Elvis Presley. Never got it finished, and now I'm retired, as she has retired, and I never see her anymore. I do talk to her on Facebook, but I never visit with her anymore. So when I get that quilt made, I will be selling it. I'm just trying to decide where to move this stuff to keep it off the floor and get it out of the way. I think what I'm going to end up doing, those cardboard things that I use on my YouTube channel, I think I'm going to end up putting those on the floor and stacking my mama's quilts on top of them to keep them off the floor. And then the very next tote that I get next month that comes in, I will be putting my mama's quilts in that. So if y'all are interested in watching me load my mama's quilts up into another tote, doing another organizing of a craft room video, you can let me know in the comments. This may be boring to a lot of you. I know somebody had told me that people like to watch organizing videos, so that's why I thought, well, maybe I'll do an organizing video and somebody might get some pleasure out of it. But anyway, here it is. This is the best I can do. And I picked a voiceover because I knew I would be walking around and shuffling around and rattling a lot of stuff, making noise. I figured y'all didn't want to hear all that stuff. So right now I'm looking through the last little bit that's in that tote and getting ready to put the lid on that tote and carry it to the front porch where I've got all the rest of it. I'm stacking this bag of stuff. This is the quilting scraps that I got to make the string quilts like I make for my grandma. Now here's where I'm putting this cardboard down on the floor and going to be stacking my mama's quilt tops on it. And that's just to kind of get it up off the floor. And this thing here, this is another quilt that I was working on and haven't finished it yet. I'm always doing that. But it was fabric that I bought at Walmart of a kitty cat. Looks like rabbits, but those are cats. And on this side it's cats, and then on the other side, which I don't know if I'm going to turn it around and show. Yes, I am. It's the breast cancer awareness ribbon fabric, and that's fleece. And you can see down at the bottom there, if you notice, I've got my quilting hoop on there because I would sit and hold that in my lap and quilt it, hand quilt it. And I haven't worked on that one in a while either. So that's going to go up there on top. I need to get my budding gear, don't I? And here's that chair that I've got advertised. That's a bed pillow. I've got it advertised for sale on Facebook Marketplace, but nobody's contacted me. All right, it looks like I'm about done for this one. I'm going to put my mama's quilts on that. I don't remember if I filmed that in the video, but that's what I'm telling you, that I'm going to be putting my mama's quilts down there. And they will be blocking those drawers, but I'm not planning on getting into that drawer. Bye for now.